We're at our third SCP now. Another author that doesn't have an author page called Lesh. And Lesh, they wrote the SCP called Not a Planet. It is not a... Is this about Pluto? Listen, Pluto for me, I know it's a dwarf planet, but to me Pluto will always be one of our planets, okay? I'm one of the kids that grew up with Pluto being a planet, and then a couple of years later, suddenly everybody was like, nah. No, Pluto is actually not a planet. I'm like, how dare you? How dare you do this to my baby boy? to the small big boy up there. How dare you? Pluto deserves respect, okay? But yeah. So not a planet. It's Keter. What a surprise. A planet SCP is Keter. Public special containment procedures. Public knowledge of SCP-2362 in its current state is to be suppressed by any means necessary. Interception and suppression of astronomical data indicate the current state of SCP-2362. The organic composition of SCP-2362 or the existence of -1 is conducted by Mobile Task Force Omicron 12 Planet Killers. MTF, oh by the way, MTF stands for Mobile Task Force. Omicron 12 is also tasked with fabricating astronomical data in order to decrease public interest in SCP-2362. Pluto is the most savage planet out there. Fight, absolutely. Yeah, Zippy and I are on the same page. Pluto deserves the Pluto for me is like the godfather of the planets. Just like if it's like you disrespected me. You disrespected me at my daughter's wedding. I'll take Pluto sucks and deserves not to be. Casabon. Out. Get the fuck out. Don't. Get out. Out. Leave. Leave. Fucking leave. We don't take this Pluto slander around here. You. No. No. Maybe I should give you a 10-minute break. Just like a 10-minute timeout. How about that? Would you like that? Would you want that? Huh? That would actually absolutely be abuse of my of Twitch powers. Just like the moment you say something I don't like, I'm like you can't talk to me for 10 minutes. I'm not gonna be like that. Don't worry. In the event that or will I be? In the event that the current state of SCP-2362 becomes apparent to the public through some lapse in Foundation security, MTF Omicron 12 will disseminate fabricated data indicating that SCP-2362 was reduced to its current state during a collision with a Kuiper belt object of comparable size, Situational Contingency Protocol A. In the event that the existence of -1 becomes apparent to the public, MTF Omicron 12 will disseminate fabricated data indicating that -1 is merely a Kuiper belt object following an escape orbit resulting from gravitational interaction with neighboring objects. Situational Contingency Protocol B. Got it. Okay, sure. They're like, no. It's just some thing that's floating around. It's like, oh yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Should -1 reach a great enough distance to render it undetectable by civilian and government equipment, MTF Omicron 12 will disseminate partially accurate data indicating the current state of SCP-2362. Among with fabricated data indicating that SCP-2362 was reduced to its current state during a collision with a Kuiper belt object of comparable size. Okay, I need to look it up. What the hell is a Kuiper belt? Is it circumstellar disk? Ah, okay, I got you. I understand now. So is hold on. Yeah, so the extending from the orbit of Neptune. Asteroid is similar to the asteroid belt, but is far larger, 20 times as wide and 20 to 200 times as massive. Okay, so basically the ring around. Okay, wow. Oh, I understand now. So they're saying if they were to look at it, let's just say like, okay, this thing is just part of a Kuiper belt, which is like, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean that could work as an excuse, as a way to be like, hey, people of the Earth, no, it's just a part of a Kuiper belt. Don't worry about it. Any civilian or government probe sent to investigate SCP-2362 or -1 must be intercepted. Researchers interpreting data from the Foundation Lunar Radio Observatory are to notify O5 Command of any change in the trajectory of the -1 immediately. Oh yeah, and Zippy O5 is the overseers. They're the big ones, the top. They're the last ones you ask. They organize, they decide everything. There's 13 of them. In case, you know, when they have to do a vote, there's always gonna be like one that has to do the final vote, so there's never like a 50-50. But yeah, so the O5s are mentioned here. Makes sense. It is something that's planetary. Description: SCP-2362 is a designation of Pluto. An interior Kuiper belt object following the discovery of its organic composition by Foundation researchers in 1983. SCP-2362 is currently a trans-Neptunian debris field orbiting the Sun with an aphelion of 48.9 AU, a perihelion of 29.7 AU, a mean eccentricity of 0.248 and an orbital period of 248 years. Okay, so we have aphelion footnote, aphelion point in orbit at which object is furthest from the Sun, and then perihelion point in orbit at which object is the closest to the Sun, eccentricity, deviation of an orbit from circulatory and period, orbital period, amount of time it takes the object to complete one orbit. Okay. SCP-2362 was reduced to this state during the emergence of -1 from its southern pole. Did Pluto give birth to an anomaly? Is that what I'm reading here? See event -A. -1 is an object approximately 900 kilometers in length, consisting of a bell-shaped mass with 13 trailing appendages and generally resembling a jellyfish of the genus Pelagia. It radiates blue light and has no discernible surface features. We got space jellyfish! -1 is able to propel itself by expanding and contracting its appendages. The mechanism of this propulsion is poorly understood, but may have some similarity to conventional ion propulsion given the stream of charged particles detected in the object's wake. Upon its emergence, the natural satellites of SCP-2362 were torn apart by tidal forces and now form part of the debris field. -1 is currently following an escape trajectory as it heads towards the vicinity of Barnard's star at a speed exceeding 30,000 meters per second. Is it 30,000 meters or 30,000 miles? Probably meters. It is estimated, because they also wrote kilometers before, it is estimated to leave the solar system at some point within the year of 2000. The object is not considered a threat to life on Earth at this point in time. Okay, this makes sense. Can you imagine? Okay, this Pluto is cool just because it has baby space jellyfish. But can you imagine? You look up with a telescope into space, observing the planets, and next thing you know, you see a giant space jellyfish, just like, and the Foundation has to come in and be like, actually, it's just part of some Kuiper belt. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. Don't look at it. but it seems to be moving. Like it almost looks alive. No, it's not alive. It's not moving. That's just your imagination. It's just part of a Kuiper belt. Just part of some space rocks debris out there. Don't worry about it. When SCP-2362 is visible from Earth through high-power telescopes, the debris field is dense enough that a difference from its appearance previous to Event A is only perceptible with the telescopes of some observatories and artificial satellites. MTF Omicron 12 has infiltrated said observatories and satellites, preventing them from obtaining new images of SCP-2362, including images of SCP-2362 fragments that have left the vicinity of the debris field, or any images of -1. Foundation Probe 76 EU, Eurydice is actually, how do you say it? Because like, I know the German way of saying it, but Eurydice?
Eurydice.
Yeah, Eurydice. Yeah, exactly. Eurydice. Is currently en route to -1. Okay, event log A. 5th, 2006. Radar data from Foundation Probe 45 Orpheus, currently in orbit of SCP-2362, indicates that the central mass of the object is rapidly shifting towards its southern pole. While SCP-2362 is already suspected to be a biological origin, given its exclusively organic composition, a hypothesis that SCP-2362 is a living organism is put forward by Orpheus research team stationed at Site 5th, 21st, 2006. Orpheus data indicates that the surface of SCP-2362 is beginning to disintegrate. Large fissures open across the object as material begins to slow. I know how to say this. But it happens sometimes. Oh yeah, it's slew off, isn't it? Well, slew off and form a cloud around it. 6th, 10th, 2006. A gigantic fissure begins to open across the object's southern pole. Fissure measures approximately 50 kilometers in length and 10 kilometers in width. Imagine looking at Pluto and just seeing like this. It's just a hole opening up. 6th, 11th, 2006. Fissure measures approximately 230 kilometers in length and 50 kilometers in width. That is. Also, Zippy, sorry that like I can see that you're trying to type something, but I'm pretty sure like with like you're constantly getting fed new information. You're like, wait, now I gotta say something else. 6/12/2006. Fissure measures approximately 950 kilometers in length and 370 kilometers in width. Orbits of satellites are noticeably deteriorating. Okay. 6/23. You got me. No, I get it. I also assume you're tapping on your phone as well. What was I? 6/23, 2006. 13 masses begin to protrude from southern fissure, each 50 kilometers across. 7 of the masses appear to be pushing against one side of the fissure, with 6 pushing against the other side. 6/27, 2006. Fissure widens to fully encompass SCP-2362 as the 13 masses further protrude from it. The object split into 2 halves, revealing that SCP-2362 is a hollow shell around its central mass. Central mass is designated as -1. In the discussion, it says that the author also wrote SCP-2126 letter from Grandma and SCP-2226 annihilation. Yeah, so that means they probably didn't write a 4th one, or they deleted the author's page. 7/4, 2006. -1 departs from the vicinity of SCP-2362. As -1 contracts and expands its appendages, the object somehow achieves a constant acceleration of approximately 10 meters per second squared. As -1 leaves SCP-2362 behind, its tidal forces tear it and its satellites apart, forming a large debris field. -1 ceases acceleration after approximately 15 minutes, bringing its speed to over 30,000 meters per second. Also, look at Pluto. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, Pluto has a heart here. Come on. How can you not love Pluto? It loves us back. Little heart shape. Addendum 1. Following infiltration by MTF Omicron 12, the International Astronomical Union revoked the status of Pluto as a planet on the 6th, 24th, 2006. I see SCP just typed 3 hearts. I'm like, yeah. Yes. Pluto gives me as much love as I give him. While creating controversy and greatly increasing the exposure of SCP-2362 in the short term, it is deemed necessary for discouraging public interest in it in the long term. Okay, like, I understand that it's practical for you, Foundation, but I will not change my ways. SCP-2362 will remain known to scientists and astronomy enthusiasts, but common knowledge of SCP-2362 will likely subside within 1 to 2 generations, as it is no longer included in textbook lists of planets and receives less attention from educational programming. So be it. So be it. Addendum 2. While the NASA probe New Horizons is intended to provide the public with the first detailed images of SCP-2362, MTF Omicron 12 has successfully intercepted the mission and it is releasing false data accordingly. Fortunately, as with most NASA missions, public interest is sufficiently low, so it is considered to be a little of risk. Ouch. Ouch. I love how this paragraph literally just kind of like just insulted NASA. I mean, it's true. It's true that like technically nobody, like NASA could just come out and be like, hey, by the way, we're observing some newfound planets, and then some people be like, oh, okay, cool. yeah, sure, just go ahead. Oh man, that is painfully accurate. Addendum 3. Recently gathered spectrographic data suggests that trans-Neptunian objects, Haumea Eris and Make, or Make, who knows, are of similar organic composition to SCP-2362. Foundation probes 87Ka Kaoru, 88Al Algos, and 89Ta Tangata are currently en route to these objects respectively. Foundation astronomers are now conducting mass spectral analysis of Kuiper belt and scattered disk objects. I will always say I like SCPs that are based on either mythology or based on something that is like a phrase or something that's our world related, you know? You take something from our world that we consider normal and give it a anomalous aspect to it. In this example is how like, oh yeah, Pluto has been considered not a planet in our world. And the author used that fact to create a whole like reason that Pluto has created an anomaly, but nobody cares because since it's not considered a planet, nobody pays attention to Pluto. So I really like when authors do that, when they just take something that's like something that's from our world that's very like simple or even like part of his history, something that's like been said or done, and it just gives a little like anomalous twist to it. Let's just be like, hey, like, you know how in our world Pluto was announced not to be a planet, and then people stopped giving a shit about Pluto. What if I add some sort of anomaly to that aspect of life? And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. It's creative. My Pluto will always be a planet for me, but it did. By the way, you should not care about Pluto at all. I will always care for Pluto. Pluto will always be a planet for me, but it did give birth to a giant space jellyfish. So maybe. But now let's try not to look too deep into it. My boy. Out of all the planets, I'm not saying this because I'm a Foundation spy or anything, by the way. Well, I mean, at the end, I do have my lab coat in London with the Foundation signal stitched to it. I am part of the Foundation. I will look into Pluto as long as I want to. And also, I would probably argue that I've read so many of these I've read exactly 2,362 of SCPs. Actually more, because the old ones are like 30. So I think the Foundation will be like, this guy is doing his homework. He's like really looking into all of them. Maybe he should be part of the Foundation. I am the Foundation!
You merely adopted the Foundation. I was born in it. Molded by it. I've read every single anomaly log out there since I was a grown man. Until I was a grown man, pardon me.
Okay.